It's common knowledge at this point that making a video game is pretty easy. I mean, they're pretty much teaching it in schools now. Once you have a computer, you're practically halfway done. What's hard is making one that people want to play. Figuring out what to place where and whether or not spamming enemies is appropriate is a tough job, but it becomes worth it once your game is one of the most watched on Twitch and people start posting funny clips to Twitter. But how do video games become viral, and what are some examples that you can borrow from? Well, we're gonna have to take a look back. Farther. The distant year of 2005 when YouTube was spat into the world. Before this stage on the internet, there wasn't really a reliable way to share with people what video games you were playing other than on the playground, and you didn't get a 10-minute long review by some underpaid guy in a basement somewhere. You had to trust people. Ew, what the fuck? Anyway, with YouTube streamlining online video sharing, it became easier than ever to watch someone else play a video game instead of buying it yourself. No longer did you have to make the long pilgrimage uphill both ways to your friend Todd's house to watch someone play Mario. You could do it from your own home. This also meant that a lot of people started to buy games they saw someone else play first instead of solely based off their commercials. YouTube kinda has a snowball effect with popular games. The pattern goes like this. A big creator makes content about a game. A lot of people watch that content and then go out and buy the game. And that leads to the game becoming a popular search term, which means every other starved gaming content creator under the sun abuses it for content until it dies, becomes cringe, and a new game becomes popular. This happened a lot in early YouTube with games like Amnesia, Happy Wheels, and the first wave of Minecraft. Now ask yourself, other than Minecraft, how often do you hear about these games anymore? Well, I can't hear you, so I'm gonna answer myself. Not a lot, actually never. But why? These are some of the biggest games online. What happened? Life. No, seriously. People moved on like people do. It's the same reason why TV shows don't last forever. People just get bored, and that's okay. As for how a game gets picked up by a content creator in the first place, I have no fucking clue. There really is no definitive reason. It could be they found the game fun, or found it nostalgic. I have no idea. Now let's take a look at viral games past and present, and reflect on what we kind of used to find funny. Now back in ye old days of 2010, a Swedish guy in a basement probably released a video of him playing a spooky game that made him scream. This video has now reached over 600,000 views and inspired a bunch of other people to play that same spooky game and scream. The game I'm talking about being Amnesia, and the Swedish guy being one of the most subscribed to people of all time. This changed the gaming scene on YouTube to evolve around horror games for a little bit. It's actually kind of crazy how this one series made scary games the most popular thing on YouTube for a while. Now I can't for the life of me understand how on earth I found a grown adult screaming and shitting their pants in a video game funny, but the past is in the past. This laid the groundwork for games like Five Nights at Freddy's and other horror games to explode in popularity. My best guess as to why they were so popular is because children were being children and didn't want to experience the scary game themselves, but had a morbid curiosity, but that's not me projecting or anything. Moving on to 2013, the start of what I like to call YouTube rage culture, where people really enjoyed watching and posting videos that mostly consisted of people getting really pissed off. A prime example of this is the plethora of videos on the platform about a game called Happy Wheels. It was an obstacle course game with shit physics and controls. In other words, premium content. It's pioneered by people like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, and their videos mostly consisted of screaming. I'm noticing a theme here. Now this is around the time that I started actively watching YouTube, so I have a lot of nostalgia for it. That being said, I absolutely hated playing it. I have no valid reason for this, but for some reason whenever I was in the same room as someone playing it, I would be in such a salty mood. I'm surprised I didn't have kidney stones. It was fine when I was watching someone play it though. I guess it's okay when the funny Irish guy does it. Now I'd probably put Modern Warfare and all those troll games designed to upset you in the same category as Happy Wheels. Not because they play anything alike, but because they made the people playing them really mad. Now this next split covers roughly 2010 to 2015-ish. It's not really that clear. I'm talking about the first wave of Minecraft, of course. Now this is very different from the wave we're currently in, but I'll touch on that more later. In my opinion, this was peak Minecraft YouTube. Guys like Stampy, DanTDM, and popular MMOs kind of carried the website for a lot of my childhood. Now, during this time, there were three main types of Minecraft content being made. Let's Plays, mod reviews, and modded Let's Plays. Stampy was probably the biggest Let's Player for me. Every time he uploaded was like a mini Christmas, and he's one of the few old Minecraft content creators who hasn't turned out to be a terrible person, so that's nice. DanTDM and popular MMOs are my go-to guys for mod reviews. I mean, they were pumping these things out like they were going out of style, which they were, but that's besides the point. I mean, we got stuff like the character mention, the shit ton of TNT mods, and the girlfriend mod? I mean, come on! If only we knew how good we had it. Now we all know how this story ends. One day, for no reason in particular, we just woke up and decided Minecraft was for cringe babies and stopped playing it. Now I know there are gonna be some of you in the comments going like, "Not me, Smuddge! I never stopped playing Minecraft!" And to that I say you're a liar, and that's a terrible trait to have. Now before we move on to the more recent stuff, I have a scheduled interruption that needs to take place in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry for interrupting, but if there was a game that was like a virus for everyone in the gaming community, it would probably be FNAF, but in close second would be Undertale. Undertale was Black Plague levels of viral. It controlled every edgy 13-year-old preteen back in 2016. That was 3 teens in like 5 seconds, so that was a mouthful. Toby Fox, no relation, created Undertale as a spiritual successor to Earthbound. This was made very apparent by one Matthew Patrick that showed the world that Sans, spoiler alert, was actually a homunculus of every single character from Earthbound put into a blender and shot by Pope Francis after he did the genocide route. Every YouTuber felt like it was their duty to play Undertale and give the people their very new and interesting interpretations of the story and lore. Just kidding, they just liked money. From Jacksepticeye to racist Uncle Andrew, everybody sucked on the sweet money-making teat of Undertale to get some of that Frisk clout. Toby from The Office felt like it deserved a sequel, nay, needed a sequel. And that game was, it was super shit, so he just stopped making it. Just like my dad, going to the store to get the milk.
Well, that got kind of heavy at the end, damn. Now let's move on to more recent examples of viral games that you're probably more familiar with. Fortnite, the game that some people loved and some people loved to hate. Now you can definitely argue that this game is still popular, which I'm sure it is. It's just definitely past its peak. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know what that peak was, but it's definitely past it. The last time I invested any time into this game was like 2 years ago, but I know it greatly impacted the competitive gaming scene. Kinda on YouTube, but mostly on Twitch, which is like way more popular now than it was in the early 2010s. Now it got so popular that the face of Fortnite, Tyler Ninja Blevins, or the Blev for short, held the record for most active Twitch subscribers at a time. The best thing to come out of that game is still the Chug Chug song though, so. I'm gonna go over this next part quickly because it's currently in an ironic meme phase and thinking about it hurts my head. Among Us is a multiplayer game that came out in 2018 and blew up on Twitch and YouTube in 2020. Now the game is still wildly popular, but as I mentioned a second ago, I can guarantee that one of my friends watching this is gonna clip that bit where I said the game's title and turn it into a shitpost. I can't go a day without seeing this game. It's sus this, vent that, I just want it to end. A ton of people have built their entire career off this game, and it got so popular that even late night TV hosts were interested. Now that's about as much as I can get through without wanting to rip my face off, so let's get to the next point, shall we? It's time to talk about Minecraft Wave 2, baby! And this game's second spike of popularity was definitely started by nostalgia, however has since turned into a completely different form, completely taking over Twitch and YouTube. Now like I said earlier, I do prefer the first wave of Minecraft, however that doesn't mean I dislike the second, I'm just not too involved. It's a limbo where all my friends play it, so I play it too. I barely ever watch Minecraft streams or Minecraft YouTube videos. The only way I'm even exposed to Minecraft YouTube is through Twitter, which is arguably the worst way possible because everything is worse on Twitter. I will not elaborate further. The main thing this time around is SMPs, which stands for Survival Multiplayer, and is kind of similar to Let's Plays except no, not really. Nowadays everyone's starting an SMP. I mean, all you really need to do is slap a word in front of 3 letters and boom, clout. Venus SMP. Speedrunning the game has also become quite popular, which I find kind of cool, because speedrunning's always been really interesting to me. Now, another thing I've noticed is that this second wave of Minecraft has inspired a ton of people, especially teenagers, to start streaming, which, when you think about it, is kind of similar how a few years ago, every white dude over the age of 20 would keep saying, "Hey guys, me and my friends could totally start a podcast." Well, now you can see that games have been popular and will always be popular. Probably. Well, that was a fun look back. Now I gotta go find a way to make bean battles the next viral game. Bye, I guess.